Is your Etsy shop dying? Did you used to have really good sales and they've just slowly started decreasing, and you're getting so unmotivated looking at Etsy going, what a terrible day sales were yesterday. I hope today's gonna be better. Let's take away all of the hope and the prayer and everything else with it, and let's go make that change. I want you to think back to when you first started your Etsy shop. It was brand new to you, you were hungry for it. There'll have been something there in the background that made you take that first step to go and open up your Etsy shop. You went through, it was a brand new platform, you were looking at it, trying to figure out, what if I do this, what if I do that? You spent the time and the investment to make that Etsy shop grow. Then what happened? You started getting sales through, you were excited. You remember that feeling that you used to get. And now that's gone. You know, an Etsy sale coming through is another order you need to complete. Another message coming through. Is it a good message, or is it somebody chasing saying, where's my order, because it's got lost in the postage? Or is it something else? There's an issue with this, and so, you know, can I get a refund or a replacement? That passion, you know, when starts to go when you start to get these types of messages coming through. And, you know, alongside all of that, you've got yourself busier. You're probably just as busy as you were when you first started the shop, but your work and your focus has shifted without you probably realizing it. You can start to get demotivated as well when you start to see the sales plummet and you're thinking, what am I going to do next? Or why isn't it doing it as much as it did before? I need the money coming in, you know, it's my lifestyle's starting to change again. Now, if we stop and think about this, when you first started your shop, all your time and energy was focused on listings and making your shop grow. Now, Etsy is a numbers game. It loves to see people turning up and taking action on the site. If you can turn up every day, making sure that you're listing, Etsy will reward you. And that's what you used to do. Now you probably don't. Now what's happening is you're turning up every day, processing the orders. The only action that Etsy sees from you is you replying to messages, you buying postage, and you completing orders. All it sees is you're just doing that. And then the message gets confused from Etsy, because then all it's seeing, the only time it gets involved in your shop is when there's a message coming through or it's a help request. And so Etsy then starts to think, right, well, is this shop able to take on extra work? You know, there's a new shop that isn't yours, and they are there present every day, listing. They don't have the same workload as you. They haven't got the same number of orders coming through. But Etsy sees them and goes, oh, they are there, they are active, they've got time to list, they've got time to do orders. And so you need to go back to those basics. You need to get that hunger again and start listing. Now, I know it's one of these where it's easier said than done, but you don't need to list tons and tons and tons like you used to. Back in the day, when you first started your shop, you were probably trying to list 2, 3, 4, 5 items, maybe even more per day, because you were growing the shop and you were hungry for that first order. Now your orders are coming through, you're already established. For Etsy to reward you, all you've got to do is just go and list 1 item per day. You do that, you will see a result and you will see an increase on your sales. Now, there are other things that you can do, like Etsy ads. There's also other things that you can do, like sales. Now, I don't know if you're already running a sale. If you've already got an established shop, you will already be doing this. If not, get a sale on, because that can also help boost your sales coming through. Etsy loves to give a discount to people, and so it will push you over somebody else. And the general public out there love to see an offer. So, my advice from this is a nice short video. If you're seeing your sales starting to plummet, go back in and go and list things, okay? Also, have a look at your shop. Is it cluttered? Have you got things in there that shouldn't be there? You know, do you sell physical products? But all of a sudden, you started listing digital ones and they just don't tend to sell. If it's not selling, get rid of it, clear up your shop. I'm talking from experience here where my shop plummeted and I had to go in and have a look, and I took away all of the items that don't sell, just didn't sell whatsoever. I was really scared with that. I had 300 listings. And I went all the way down to just 66 listings. However, what I found was I got rid of the ones that weren't selling, and just left what was selling. Those that were selling have then increased on the number of sales that I'm getting from them. So it's had a positive effect on my shop. And that was a very easy thing that I was able to do overnight in one session. Just go onto my listings and have a look, you know, at the history. And if it's just never sold, I got rid. If it's sold it once in the past year, I got rid. So, and I kept the ones that have got the sales history. And it took about 7 days. It was very scary, but then sales started to come through. So my advice for you on this is going to be turn up every day and list one item. Just list the one item. You can do that because if you're hungry for orders and there isn't enough coming through for you, then you've got the time to do a listing until the orders come through. So make it a habit. Every day in the morning, go and list something. Second, go through your listings and just delete the ones that aren't selling. If they're not selling, they're just bringing your shop down. Get rid of those. Hope that helps, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. If you don't mind, give us a like and subscribe. Bye.